Welcome out to Show Night, guys. This is Studio 321. It's your host, Eddie B. How you doing tonight, guys? Look, normally I would find house districting or redistricting a very boring subject, but not tonight, guys, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. But first, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. It's free. But it'll bring you all the videos from my channel right to your feed when they come out. I got a ton of videos out, and I'm trying to keep it moving, man. We gotta, like minds, gotta stick together. We gotta keep the flow of information. So, anyways, let me get back to the subject. So, the House redistricting in Texas. I'm sure some of you have seen it on the news. Maybe some of you haven't. If you haven't, what they're doing is they're trying to redraw all the House districts in Texas. And if it gets passed, what's basically going to happen is the Democrats are going to lose, they say 5 or 6 House seats in Texas, which, look, that's a huge deal. It'll affect the votes, the midterm votes. It'll affect a lot of things. That'll give the Republicans 6 more House seats automatically, so they probably won't lose the House in the midterms, which is huge, because if Trump can maintain House and Senate for the next 2 years, he's going to be able to finish his agenda. But, and look, that's all a big deal. It's usually the boring stuff. I usually don't follow it too much, to be honest with you. I mean, I like to have a little bit of fun. But this time it's a little different. And the reason why is because if this passes, infamous Jasmine Crockett's going to be out of a job. And I love that idea. And so this is what's happening. So if they redistrict Texas the way they're trying to do it right now, Jasmine Crockett's job is going to be eliminated. So she will be out of government. Now, if some of you don't know who she is, I think she represents the Texas District 30. It's the House District 30. And she's just a loudmouth, foul mouth, always acting ghetto, coming up with like a bunch of ghetto one-liners. She's super aggravating, just not very intelligent. And the truth is, you can sit and watch her, and you realize that she got her job just by basically a bunch of catchy, cool one-liners, but she doesn't know how to govern anything. I mean, you can listen to her for 20 minutes and figure that out, right? I actually did a previous podcast kind of picking on her, saying that, I think she might want to become a stripper because she acts like one. If you haven't seen that podcast of mine, it's kind of a funny one. You can go back and look it up, it's in some of my previous videos. But look, I wouldn't pick on her if it wasn't true. I'm obviously, I don't support Democrats. I don't support their agenda, but I do respect people who carry themselves like adults and try to govern, in whatever they believe. And even if I disagree with it, I have respect for, serious people. Because, look, our leaders are supposed to be serious people. But she's not a serious person. Like I said, she's kind of a clown. I don't know how she got elected in her district. That, to me, would be embarrassing. I don't think that the people in her district are very smart, to be honest with you. How could they be voting for her? All right. But, be that what it is. If she's eliminated from that, she's out of government. I'm sure she'll probably try to run for something else, but I don't think it'll work in Texas. I think she was in a unique position to pick up her district because, again, her district's, full of low IQ voters. And that's just a fact because you would never elect somebody like her, in a smart district. But so anyways, to me, it is a bit of a double-edged sword because I do like watching Jasmine Crockett go in front of the nation and embarrass the Democratic Party. I do enjoy that. I can't lie. Every time she talks, it hurts their party even more. Because again, you can, most of the country watches her and is embarrassed. She's calling people names, all these ghetto terms, calling Republican leaders white boys and all this you know what I mean. It's all that ghetto crap. And for normal folks that, live a normal life like me and other people, that's fine to use that kind of language. But you know what? In leadership, it's not fine. If you're going to be a leader, You need to dress a certain way. You need to talk a certain way. You need to have certain decorum in public and certain respect for other officials. You do. Even ones that you hate, because even though she just represents, District 30 in Texas, she's a government representative. I mean, as much as it bothers me to say this, in a way, she represents all of us, even me. And I hate to say that about her because I can't stand her. But she does. She represents all of us. Because what do you think somebody in another country sees when they're watching TV and they see a clip of her on there? They're not just thinking about Texas. They're thinking that's an American politician that acts that foolish. And so, it lumps us all in with her, and I love the fact that she constantly embarrasses the Democratic Party. I'm pretty sure quietly a lot of them are happy that she's probably going to go away. But, the other side of me is happy to see her go because I don't want that embarrassment anymore. You know what I mean? I don't want, I like having her around to do the damage to the Democratic Party, but I don't want her there anymore because the damage she does to basically just the American reputation. You know what I'm saying? We have enough of that right now. We don't need people like her. And unfortunately, she's the loudest, most obnoxious one of them all. So every time she speaks, she's going to get tons of press coverage, right? Because, everybody likes to see the good story and the loud mouth and all that, so they can plaster it all over the internet, and it makes for a good story. But the truth is, it's just spreading embarrassment. You know what I mean? I don't know how that's going to redistrict out in Texas. Like I said, I'm hearing that the Democrats will probably lose 5 seats, which, it's a dirty trick that politicians do. The Republicans are doing it now, and the Democrats, they do it in California all the time. So the Democrats are going to blame, the Republicans. Oh, the sky is falling. But the truth is, both sides do this to each other anytime they can. They redistrict their states to try to get things to lean in their favor, which, look, I get it. They do it to each other all the time. To the victor comes the spoils in my book. But it's just a little sweeter to me this time because Jasmine Crockett's job is on the line. And I can't wait to see how this comes out. And man, is she going to go kicking and screaming on the way out the door if it happens. And I'm going to be right there watching it and loving every bit. So, I'll keep an eye on what's going on. I'll keep you guys posted. Also, just pay attention to the news. Google it sometimes and find out. We're going to see how this all ends. But, man, if she gets kicked out of her job, it's going to be a beautiful thing. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you soon. This is Eddie B from Studio 321. Have a good night.